Geothermal energy is heat within the earth. It's a renewable energy source because heat is continuously produced inside the earth. Let's have a look.
Geothermal power plants work like this. Pockets of water deep beneath the earth are superheated by magma or melted rock. The water is piped to the surface where boiling hot steam powers generators. There's little pollution and the supply of electricity can last for generations. That's because when the water is cooled, it's returned to the underground reservoir so the process can be repeated over and over again.
Kenya's Rift Valley region contains substantial geothermal energy, enough to power the country and beyond. The country has tapped this renewable energy and is now Africa's largest producer of geothermal energy and among the top 10 in the world. The current installed geothermal capacity in Kenya is 823 megawatts. With the untapped potential of 10,000 megawatts of geothermal energy, Kenya is on track to join the club of 4 countries with an installed 1,000 megawatts capacity or greater.
For more on Kenya's progress in utilizing geothermal power to power its economy, we have contacted Simon Kiragu, an energy practitioner and youth advocate. Now, thanks for your time, Mr. Kiragu. How has Kenya been able to develop into a leading geothermal energy producer in the world?
First of all, a major plus for us is the spectacular geological feature that we have, which is the Rift Valley. And the East Africa Rift Valley system has a potential of about 15,000 megawatts, of which Kenya boasts of an estimated 10,000 megawatts of that. So Kenya aims to develop and market and utilize about more than 1,000 megawatts from the geothermal resources. And in my opinion, why Kenya is leading is one, there's an aspect of risk mitigation. Through the Geothermal Development Corporation, the government has developed steam fields and sells geothermal steam for electricity generation to both KenGen and also private investors. So this one takes away the risk that many investors are not willing to take, and also allowing investors to come in at a later, more proven stage of geothermal development.
Now, according to the International Energy Agency, in Kenya, access to electricity rose from 20% in 2013 to almost 85% in 2019. The use of geothermal energy is changing lives of people in Kenya, as this rural-based hairdresser explains here. Let's take a listen. Mr. Muigai Kiragu, can you elaborate on how the use of geothermal energy has impacted on the economy and the daily lives of people, especially in terms of eradicating poverty?
By last year, geothermal accounted for more than 50% of the electricity generated in Kenya, and this has lowered the cost of power between 20 and 35% for both domestic and industrial consumers, respectively. So in this aspect, it has translated to the cost of doing business. Cost of power reduction will result to fairer cost of products, which will be felt by consumers. So also in terms of geothermal energy, over the recent years, there has been impacts like, for example, it has boosted tourism through the medicinal spas that we have in Naivasha. And also we have other economic models that are being currently piloted, which are going to have a ripple effect with the economy. Like, for example, using the geothermal energy for milk pasteurization, aquaculture, greenhouse heating. We have also heating of fish ponds.
Clearly, geothermal energy is having positive impact on the lives of the people in Kenya. Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta has been at the forefront of his country's quest for clean and renewable energy. At a groundbreaking ceremony for the Olkaria 5 geothermal power development project built by 2 Japanese firms and 1 Kenyan, Kenyatta voiced support for public-private sector partnership in such projects.
We should allow the private sector to also engage so that through that public-private partnership, we are able to faster achieve our objectives of being energy self-sufficient, reliable power, cheap power, clean power in a much faster time than the period that we've set ourselves for 2030. So mine is to really thank everybody who has been involved, the government of Japan, the government of China.
As we know, geothermal exploration is risky and capital intensive. How has Kenya been able to overcome this challenge?
Indeed, geothermal exploration is capital intensive. Like, for example, drilling a 50 megawatts well cost about approximately 30 million USD at the testing phase, and also it takes about 3 years. So along the way, Kenya has received support from bilateral development, whereas organizations like the United Nations are being instrumental in facilitating training of our engineers through the United Nations Geothermal Training Program. So, for example, from last year, but the Geothermal Development Corporation received about 2 billion from the Exchequer, which is in Kenya shillings, and towards capital expenditure, and about 4 billion for steam sales and Exchequer recurrent budget. So GDC has also further embarked with support from financing partners like African Union Commission through the Geothermal Risk Mitigation Facility.
The United Nations University has a postgraduate training program aiming at assisting developing countries in capacity building within geothermal exploration and development. The director of the United Nations University Geothermal Training Program speaks here on the importance of training in this sector.
If you want to have a serious development, you cannot only do it through consultants. You have to know yourself what you're doing. That's a key thing to a real success in geothermal development.
Do Kenyans have any technical expertise to produce geothermal energy or have to rely on foreign companies? And what steps have been taken to build indigenous capacity?
Of course, Kenya does have technical expertise, and sometimes they also have partnerships with some foreign countries to build the skills. And currently, Kenya has a hub is a hub for skills, capacity, and technology transfer, and it boasts of a Geothermal Center of Excellence, which is the Geothermal Development Corporation's in-house training facility, which was founded as a response to an existing regional skills gap in the geothermal energy subsector. So the center offers comprehensive peer-reviewed programs in all aspects of geothermal energy development. And also the Center of Excellence aims to upgrade the competence level of geothermists in the region through formal training of students, regional conferences where geothermists can share experiences, publications of biannual scientific journals that will document scientific developments in the geothermal subsector within the region.
Now, Mr. Muigai, you have talked there about Geothermal Energy Center of Excellence in Kenya. Now, are other regional countries with geothermal energy potential benefiting from Kenya's experience?
We have countries where the geothermal programs, we have partnered with, like, for example, Djibouti, to have geothermal engineers trained at the Center of Excellence, and investing in these in expert with considerable experience in geothermal exploration and also drilling, and they will be able to build the capacities of teams within working with the projects. Like, for example, if I can add a little bit, we have also been able to benchmark with other countries for development of geothermal sites and projects. For example, Kenya has been working with a number of countries that include Kenya, that include Uganda, Tanzania, Djibouti, South Sudan, Zambia, and Comoros. So these paradigm shifts has been able to cement Kenya's position as the ideal skill, capacity, and technology partner to other African countries.
Thank you for that, Mr. Kiragu Muigai, energy practitioner in Kenya, for that insight.
However, Kenya's geothermal energy production comes with its own challenges to the pristine environment and the local Maasai community.
We live a nomadic life system. We move from one place to another looking for pasture. We are fully dependent on livestock. We don't cultivate. Because of the pipeline network, crossing from one corner of the locality to the other that denies the access of animals to certain areas.
While traditional ways of life and the environment cannot remain unaffected by development projects, geothermal power remains greener than most alternatives.
Well, that's it for this edition of Africa Today. On behalf of the entire Africa Today team, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Take care and goodbye for now.